Straight to the YouTube.
It goes directly to the YouTube from here. Directly.
There it is, live.
There you go.
We're on.
We're back.
We're good. Are we good?
Finally.
Are we recording?
Okay, hold on.
Now you want to start rocking.
What's grooving, baby? Psychedelic. You want to smoke some grass? It's just groovy. Can you dig it? Far out.
Here you go.
We're live.
Yes, sir. Finally.
We good now?
What's up, Raza? What's going down, Brown? Tu sabes, you know how we get down here. It's on and cracking Tuesday the 27th. In May, the last few days of May, the last days that you'll never see for the rest of your life, homie. As soon as the days are over with, that's it. You'll never get them back again, homie. So make the best of it, homie. Somebody's getting on your nerves, cut them loose, homie. Somebody's burning you, cut them loose, dog. Somebody's living for free renta in your brain and your mind and your heart and your spirit, cut them loose, homie. A rato, vato. Escuéntate. We're here live in the studio, the Rockin Chicano show, with my homeboy engineer, Alfredo.
What's up? What's up? Listo. Hey, listen, if you're on YouTube, help us out, man. Let us know how it sounds because, we're just testing out this new application. Hopefully, it sounds great. So let us know. Send us your message. Porfis.
And on my right, my co-host, in my right, my co-host, the homegirl, the Conrad, the Vida Loca, the TikToker, the homegirl from around the way, all the way from Nebraska, Bangkok, China.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing
The
out there?
homegirl Rose. Firme gente, firme camarada. She gets down like James Brown. She's a firme gente. She's always helping out, always doing. My homegirl Rose. What's up, Rose?
What up, what up?
I'm gonna go live in this Facebook. A ver qué dicen.
How's
And to-
everybody doing out there?
And to all my haters, what's up, homie? Todos los que me cagan. Oh, I didn't tell you, huh, Rose? I mean,
Nah.
oh man, can you? Yeah, oh, there it is. It's much better. Can you see us? All right. What's up? What's up, homie? I gotta hide the double chin. Doom.
Quit
Doom.
eating the snacks.
Hey, shut up, man. Oh, what was my favorite this weekend? What did I had to come back to get? My sweet tooth. What was it, Rose?
Well, which part? I mean, at the
Came in a
fair.
box. Came in a little box.
Oh, oops. Oh, your fudge.
I had to
chocolate
come
fudge.
back for the fudge at the fair, homie.
We had to go
Like-
all over looking for it.
I was like this. Ooh, 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 like a gorilla. I had to eat my fudge on me. But we had a good weekend. A tiring weekend. What did we do Friday, Rose?
We were at Santa Fe Springs Cruise.
Oh, that's right. We were at the Santa Fe Springs Cruise. We filmed there. Sekiwo to Mama Lowrider and everybody, the whole posse, the whole Booyah tribe. And then you were able to ride on the side of the panel, right?
Yeah, the first time. First time.
Boom. So I didn't have the TVs up, but next time we will. And then Saturday we went to where?
The Downey Landing.
Oh, that's right. Damn, Rosie, remember everything? I forgot. Downey Landings, we filmed with, what was her name? What was that youngster's name? Oh, man, I forgot her name. She was feeding me gente with her dad. And we went home, showered up, got ready. You got ready.
Yeah.
We ended up going to Rudy's.
Yes.
There was a hyena when you walked in. She was like this. Me no papa face, homie. She was like this. Mad dogging you like this. Say it, homie. It's okay, dog. Get it off your papona chest, dog. Open up, homie. Todo está bien, homie. You know?
It was a good night.
It was a real good show. It was real
Yeah.
good. Thank you, Mario. Live wire.
Yes.
And then got home, got ready, took off, and we did Pomona Fair.
Yes. Sunday morning, I had to be out there.
It was feeding me, huh?
Yeah, that was cool. It was nice weather till later. It got hotter and hotter. It's like whoa.
I forgot to press live. What's up? We're live on Facebook now. What's up to all my gente out there? What's up? What's cracking, lacking? Facebook world. What's up, YouTube world? Hey, gracias, man, for tuning in. You know, this show is Rockin Chicano show. It's always positive. Everything ends up in a positive note. And sometimes we go a cappella. Sometimes we don't study. We just go with it. And whatever God puts in our heart to speak on, that's what we're going to talk about, you know? We waited on Jay. Jay didn't come, but we have some things coming up, you guys. It's gonna happen. You know what I mean? I got some gente. I think in the next 2 weeks, I got an actor coming in. Daniel coming in. Feedman actor, upcoming actor, came out of the joint, got his life together. So he's doing Feedman. There's big things coming for this podcast. Little by little, let's cope with it. So. Now that we got that out the way, we got film out the way, we got all that out the way. So what's today's topic, Alfred?
Oh man, what do you guys want to talk about, bro? Oh man, I think the important thing, I think what we were talking about, I think is, nalgadas, right? Right, papo, right? We got to talk about it, right? There's a lot of, I think we need to take a breather, right, as parents. And we're going to talk about discipline, man. Discipline our kids. I think it's very important.
On the way down here, I was heated, Don't put my business out there too much, but my teenage son, comes out in certain status on him, and today I had to make him apologize to his mom, and he apologized to me, you know what I mean? But I don't let him go that easy. Rebelliousness is a form of witchcraft, you know what I mean? Many people don't know that. Spell the rod, spoil the child, and you might say, well, what does that mean? Look, if you don't take care of your kids now, the system or the streets will take care of them for you. So it's up to you what you're going to do with your kids. It's up to you. You're going to determine what's the outcome of the kid. Now, if the kid just straight up wants to be rebellious and is going to do what he's going to do, then he has a rebellious heart. Then, it's unfortunate. You're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to stay with him with that attitude. And on the way down here, me and Rose were talking, and she had mentioned a comment of what took place at her home. Yeah. And it's true. When it's your house, when you have a roof and you're paying the rent and you're providing for everybody, it is your rules. It is your house. You have the right to say and do as you will. If and indeed they don't like the rules, if they don't like the structure, well, there's the door always, Unfortunately, a lot of times they take that as a form of threat. They take that as a form of, oh, you know what, to heck with it. I don't need this. I'm out of here. Well, they don't want me here. No, it doesn't mean that we don't want the kids there. What we want for them is to have structure and be obedient and listen to whatever the rules and regulations are, A lot of times, with broken homes and everything, the child has easier access to leave and determine and make their own career and their own path. And you got to remember that they're young and they're going to make mistakes, that they're young and the choices that they make are not going to be right. So you as a parent have to put your foot down, A lot of times I see videos where the kids are beating up on other kids or older parents or older people, and you could see them beating the heck out of them, and just to be rebellious, just to be a chump, just to be a punk, and it all starts from home. if you don't discipline your child, if you don't have structure, uh, with these kids, eventually in the long run, they're going to learn not to respect people. They're going to learn not to respect authority, you know? You got to have them under control. You got to explain to them the difference between right and wrong and guide them into that path. And you got to lead by example is the best that you can, you know? When it comes down to your kids and your grandkids, well, you would have to set an example right off the top when you already have grandkids, you know, that it doesn't follow suit just because the daughter did it, you know? And a lot of times, people tend to let go of those issues, you know, and like, va a salir bien. And a lot of times the dad just comes home like, I don't want to hear it. I'm out of here, whatever, you know? And long as I have my 8 hours of work, I come home and that's all I got to deal with, and that's it. I'm good. No, it all takes a village to raise the kids, the familia. You know, it takes everybody from the mom, the dad, the brother, the sister, everybody. Everybody puts in and um, washes dishes, cleans up, cleans the room, whatever the case might be. But you don't go empty handed. You know, you don't go leaving where that it's like whatever. No, no, we all gotta work and we all gotta pitch in. We all gotta hop out, you know. I remember this is in my case, okay? I remember when my mom would leave and she was a lot of times she was a fichera. For you don't know what a fichera is those girls when you go to the Mexican bars and they drink with you and they want to get you drunk so you could spend money, and the man doesn't feel uncomfortable being by himself and drinking his sorrows away. At least he could forget about the sorrows and have some kind of thought of a female companion sitting there next to him, drinking alcohol with him. The only bad thing is that their drinks are watered down, you know, and the drunk vato, they don't care. They're gonna take him for all they got. So she would have to be there for many, many hours, and in the morning, I remember we would go and clean up the bar, and I'll never forget the smell of it. You know, it smelled like old dirty alcohol, patas, boots, drugs. It smelled like old wood. I still remember that smell, you know? And then we would have to hop out and clean out. And I remember the baggies of cocaine. I didn't know what they were at the time, but I thought they were funny. I thought it was candy, you know? And my mom would take it and like throw it away or whatever. But she didn't have time for us. So when she would get mad and discipline me or whatever, like, it didn't matter, you know. It was just like one ear out the other. And she one time wanted to discipline me. So this is what happened. I take off on the bike. I'm like, I'm out of here. I must have been about 8 years old, 9 years old. And I went down the street. I took off, and another mom that she had her kids, and she was a fichera doing her things. But she was an upscale fichera. They had money, you know. She had a Corvette and everything, living in the homes. That tells you something, you know. And I took off and I bumped into the son. So me and the son got into it, and he flipped me over, and I cracked my head, and I come back crying, and you know, and like, oh man, she almost passed out. She went down there, want to kill the people and whatever, and big old commotion. And she ends up tying me like a dog on my arm, you know, and tied to the bed.
Wow.
And she says, ahora sí, Cabron. She says, ahora no te me escapas, you know. And I would sit down and I was tied like a dog to the bed. I didn't understand why was there discipline in my life? I didn't understand why was I being punished so hard, or I was being rebellious. I didn't understand that part. All I wanted was just to be free, to have a good roof over our head. In that bed that I was tied up to, it was like a broken down bed, but it had a post. And I was tied up to it in the garage. That's where we lived at. I didn't get it. I didn't understand. And I would look at my arm and I would look at the rope that she tied me up. And what would go through my mind is like, why? Why am I living here on the floor in a rat infested place and a little shed and a little room? And why is there a rope in my thing and in my arm? And why am I acting like this? Why am I lacking? Where's my dad? Where's this? I had no clue, no idea that I was being disciplined. Nothing ever mattered to me. I kept on getting in trouble, kept on getting in trouble. But I'll tell you this much, Alfred. If and indeed that was a rope tied up to me to discipline me by my mom, oh man, just to have 5 minutes with her, tie up both of my arms, homie.
Yeah.
You know? Because there's a saying, I'm doing it for your own good.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not understand it. Doing it for my own good. What good is in this, you know? As young kids, we don't know. We don't understand. But as parents, we must take that leadership and that example and put our foot down, you know? But heck yeah, I would go back for 5 minutes with her, tie me up with both arms, you know? Just to hear her scold me. Estás loco y sigues saliendo and this and that and saliste igual que los tus tíos y son los cholos and, you know, the same thing. Quieres andar en las calles, you know, like, oh man, you know, the same old thing. But what would I do just to even have her for 5 minutes just to tell me that?
That's right.
You know? A lot of times it's hard for the parent to try to be that responsible parent, and they're not in a stage of their life where they could lead by example, and they're lost and stuck in some way, shape, or form in life, you know? But believe me, and I trust you guys that everything that you do is out of the goodness of your heart, you know? So I give props to all the moms out there and all the grandmas and grandpas are stuck with kids or grandkids or whatever the case might be, because being a parent, even though you're a grandparent or whatever, and you're taking care of your grandkids, I give you a lot of props, you know? Now I understand when it's on the other side, like, hey, it's for your own good. Es por tu bien. Quita las manos, Cap.
There you go.
Rose, let me show you my favorite moves with my mom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Quita las manos.
Avoid the chancla.
Y no le corras. Don't run. I knew all those moves from the Kung Fu Theater, dog.
Oh, I remember those days getting beat down. Hey, do you remember the telephones back in the days, the older ones, with the cords that were those little round, thick cords?
Mm-hmm.
I remember my mom just grabbing that and just beating you, or go get a stick from outside. Go pick a stick, and you come with the smallest one. She go out there and go get the biggest one and beat you down.
Yeah, that or the cord, the extension cord. Oh my God. You know what I
Yes.
mean? But, you know, the funny thing is that as much as they did that, I'm speaking for my behalf, as much as it did that to me, it didn't fade me. It didn't. It wasn't it was for my own good, but nothing good came out of it. Because in reality, this child was lost and this child was rebellious. And the sad, unfortunate part that the moms got to live through it while the kids go through it, you know? And they see the struggle, they see the incarceration, they see the motive behind everything, that this child is rebellious. He has no kind of exampleship. He has no kind of guidance in life, you know? So he picks his friends as family and friends and foe, whatever the case might be. And you would like to exchange certain lives with certain people, you know, which you can't. And you roll with it like a rolling stone in life, you know? You make the wrong decisions, the wrong choices, And eventually, by not respecting your parents, your grandparents, the law decides to put handcuffs on you and tells you you have the right to remain silent. Anything and everything will be held against you. So here's the thing: is it everything and anything could be held against me, which it should have been held from the get-go by the parents, not by the law enforcement. When they take your rights away, when they take your freedom away and handcuff you and take you in back of that squad car, right after they're done searching you and searching your pockets and everything, spreading your legs open and, searching your whole belt and everything, like a hardcore criminal that you are, and gaffle you up and put you in the mold of a back of a squad car. That mold is built for criminals. That mold is built for individuals that want to break the law. That mold is built for people that have been rebellious in life. It has a perfect shape to put in your body and mold in exactly to the form of your arms when they're handcuffed in back of your back. As you ride in that facility car, when you ride in that vehicle that belongs to the law enforcement, to the government, you could smell that vehicle. It smells like funk. It smells like everything in there, you know?
So true.
And that screen's right in front of you with the window protector. Your feet is scrunched up in there and your hands in the back. And he's asking you questions as he's driving, and he's trying to report and make a report and write things out and go through the computer as he's driving you to the station. Right when you get to the station, they strip you down of your things and handcuff you so you could do the process of the fingerprint. They're writing down who you are. They're registering who you are. And you're going to be registered as a gang member, or you're going to be registered as a thief. They're going to register you as something. As you're being stripped down of your clothes and everything, you're being fingerprinted and being processed through the system. As your name goes out and as your fingerprints got out on the computer, now it's doing a whole federal check all through United States to determine who you are and where you come from. What is your status? Do you have any warrants? Do you have anything? They want to keep track of you. They want to have a profile of you, of what you're going to do for the next 5, 20, 30 years. They want to have a file on you already. As they do the fingerprint and everything, and it goes on and they gaffle you up, then they interview you. They want to hear your side of the story as you're getting ready to be processed into the county jail or the juvenile detention center. Whatever the route might be, but they're going to sit there and they're going to question you. The authority's going to ask all these questions, You're going to state your case. You're going to try to explain to them before they file on you. Right when they file on you, the district attorney, then goes the process, goes to court. You get transferred off. You got 72 hours to go see a judge. You're getting prepared. And it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And California Department of Corrections picks you up. You go through the process court. I could go on for days. And it all started from a rebellious heart, a rebellious mind.
Get caught up.
You cannot listen to your mom and dad. You cannot listen to your grandma and grandpa. Well, you're going to listen now. No, well, I ain't going to listen, and screw the system. F the system. Say F the system all you want. The system's effing you, homie. It's tearing you apart, homie. It's stripping you down. When you get into the cell, you're going to be able to smell the walls sucking the life out of people, dog. When you walk into those old prisons, the heck is this? All the life that's sucked out of people's life, all the sweat, the life, everything. All the stress, all the broken dreams, all the dead-end lives, it ends in those cells, homie. It's funny, this weekend, as Rose was with us and we're with the whole crew and my family and everybody, we're filming, I seen the California Departments of Corrections. And it says, and rehabilitation. I says funny because back in my days, we didn't have that part. And nowhere near is it the responsibility of CDC or the judge or anybody to rehabilitate you. That does not rehabilitate you. I'm a proven fact that it doesn't rehabilitate you. It makes you a better criminal. I learned how to do counterfeits. I learned how to do methamphetamine. I learned how to do a lot of things in prison, homie. A lot. You bump into criminals that are there, freaking masterminds. But it does not rehabilitate you. It's up to you to determine what you're going to do with your life. You know? And it all started when? When you were rebellious. When you wanted a buck. When you wanted to act crazy with your mom and dad, your grandpa, your brother, your sister, whoever the case might be, that you were under their authority. Nah, F this. Nobody's going to tell me. Ándale, güey. Life is hard, homie.
It is.
Life is hard. We live in a great country, you guys. We live in a great, great country. It's up to you. You have the right to be a bum. You have the right to be a businessman. You have the right to be whatever you want to be in this world, homie. You have that right. You're blessed. There's opportunities. You got to pursue them. You're black, you're brown, dispensa. It's a little harder, but it's okay. What gets harder is better for you in the long run anyways, because any challenges come up to you, you could bang them out like nada, homie. It's up to you to determine what you want. See, but what they ain't going to do, homie, they ain't going to give you a silver spoon. They ain't going to give you the guidance. It's up to you to determine what you want to do. You want to rebel? Well, we're going to make money out of you. Oh, you want to be successful? We're going to make money out of you. Student loans? Oh, we got you. Wall Street? Oh, we got you. Interest rates? We got you. Whichever way you want to go. But it's up to you. You determine how you want to deal with these things of life. And it all starts when? When you wanted a buck, when you wanted to snap, when you did not want to listen to your mom and dad. Oh, but you know, they're crazy. Yeah, okay, they might be crazy, homie. I get you. But two crazies don't make a ride, homie. If they're crazy, it's okay. It's going to humble you. It's wisdom. It's schooling for you. What do you mean it's schooling for me? It's schooling for you, dog. Because you're going to know how not to act. See, when my father left, homies, let me break something down to you. I did not miss him. I did not understand what it was to have a father there. See, with my kids, homie, I make sure that I'm there. I make sure that I tell them I love them. I make sure I crack the whip on them, and I make sure I'm straight with them. I don't let them disrespect me in any way, form, or fashion. And if so, I bring it up to their attention. I will provide everything that I need to provide with, just so they can be successful in this life. I never want them to ever have an excuse. Oh, well, my mom this, well, my mom that, and my dad this or my that. No, hogwash. You know, today I went through Rose Hills. I have a love and a hate towards Rose Hills. And the reason being is because loved ones are there, and the hate is that they're gone. And I will never see them again until we see each other in the afterlife. And I pray that we make it to the gates of heaven and not the other side. Mm-hmm. You know? Oh, Anthony, but no, I don't want to hear none of that. I'm going to tell you why, because we're all humans and we don't determine. It's up to God to determine where we all end up at. But as I turned to the left, I seen somebody getting buried right there by the fence. And it was a family of 4. And I got to wondering, who is that family? They must have been their closest family and relatives. Was that person nice? Was that person kind? Or was that person a dog that nobody wanted to show up to his funeral? Things wandered through my head as I go through those places. I do know that when I get laid down to rest, I want my kids to say, damn, this dude was freaking hard. But thank you for giving us this life. Thank you for being that strict with us. Thank you for being that role model. Thank you for being that right father. Thank you for not leaving us hanging. Thank you for not choosing the homeboys over us. Thank you for not choosing the alcohol over us. Thank you for not choosing the drugs over us. Thank you for not choosing the women over us. Thank you for choosing us instead of the whole world. That you battle the whole world to give us a better life. See, that's my goal, that I finish the race, homie. But it all starts with you. It all starts of you putting your foot down so your kids could listen to you. Being serious with your no's are no's and your yeses are yeses. It is you. It's up to you to determine what you're going to do with them and how you're going to lead them. Do you just keep on doing your thing and they'll get it some way, somehow they'll learn? It's sad because as a child, I could remember my brother saying, eat and sleep and live the fat off the land. I will never forget those words. I'll just eat and sleep and live the fat off the land. There was never an ambition to him. He always wanted to be a bum. He always wanted to just go out there and live off the streets, live off the world, live off in the car, on the beach, didn't care. Maybe he had more issues. Maybe he might have been molested. I'm pretty sure he was. You know, I wasn't molested. Maybe he was. Maybe his thoughts and theories were different. I know they were. But it's sad because he had no ambition, and right off the top, he knew what he was heading to. In 1994, when my mom passed, he was there. He went all off the roof from there. He would put hands on my mom in her dying bed. Now, the time when I got out of prison and they explained to me, my tia grabbed me against the wall. She told me, there's something I need to tell you. She stopped me for a little bit. She goes, I need to tell you something. Before you go help out your brother, before you go do all this, let me explain a little something what your brother was doing and why he ended up like that. I go, what is it? He goes, he would be under the influence and your mom would call me to tell me to get him out of here because he would beat her down in her dying bed for Social Security money so he could go get high. And I blew up. I said, I would tear him limb by limb. See, as much as rebellious as I was, as much as I anger and lost that I was in my life, I knew one thing, not to lay hands on my mom. Because the problem that I had was within myself, not with her. See, when they teach you how to love a mom and dad, it's for a reason. It's because those are your guiders and those are your providers. So that taught me not to lay hands on my mom. As much as she would try to hit me when my teenage years, I just laughed about it. It just rolled over. You know, when she would come and visit me in juvenile hall, I just said, you know what? If this, don't come back here no more. You know? But I knew not to lay hands on my mom because the destruction with this was within myself. It was hard because she tried to do the best that she can. But with no leadership, no example, no guidance, no nothing, no structure, the parents were never home, they got to rebel. I rebelled. But I knew better not to hit my mother. I knew better that to just let her live. That some way, somehow, things would work out and she would go on herself. Go marry, go find somebody else. That I wanted to be free without the thought behind my head of having accountability. What time I had to check in, where I had to be at. I wanted to do my own thing. But one thing for sure, I would never lay hands on my mom. That was not the right thing to do. Who am I to ever lay hands on my parent? I couldn't do that. I would take out my aggressions on the other barrios, gang members. I knew better. So when my tia told me that, I blew up. I said, I'll tear him from limb. And she goes, no, mijo. That's when she threw me against the wall. He goes, ya está pagando. He's paying in life. That's in 1994. That's what, 31 years later? Mm-hmm. He's still homeless, still walking the street, still talking to himself, still peeing on himself, still pooping on himself, and still being barefoot. Did he deserve what he has? As a brother? Yes and no. You know, I get it. I understand. But as a parent now, it's a no. You know, I understand that he didn't have no guidance. I understand that he had no discipline. I understand that he was a baby of the family. I understand everything the way it went down. The day of my mom being in her dying bed, and I got to see her, and I had a gun, I had a stolen car and everything, and I got to see her up in her hospital bed, and she was sick. She said, yo pensaba que tú ibas a ser el que me ibas a salir para adelante. I thought you would be the one to take us further out in life. I said, me? How? How? Me? How can I even understand these things when I'm so caught up? I was already in the run for 4 attempted murders. I was getting in high-speed chases with police officers just so I could get away. How? If I had no example, if I had no leadership in front of me, if I had no guidance, I turned to the body for guidance. And that was a trap. That was an acceptance of falsehood, of lies. We'll accept you. But see, those people that you were gangbanging against with, now you're going to sit down to the table and eat with them. What? But we were going at war. No, things are different here. Things are different there? Yeah. And it's a color thing now. It's a color thing now? Whatever happened to the brother? Whatever happened to all that? It was just lies. I followed it and I pursued it. I pursued it all the way. You know, when my mom had told me that I'll be the one to, hoping that she would get me out, get us out forward in life. Dije, ¿cómo? How? I turned around. I remember it clearly. I had my arm rested against the corner of the window like this, and I'm looking outside, and outside it just had show a view of nothing but air conditioners and all that because we're in a high building. I try to look as far as I can to find any answers. When I turned around and I told my mom, ¿Por qué, ama? Why are we living like this? What happened? Her answer was just putting her head down and tears coming down. See, she knew that the mistakes that she had did as a mother, but yet she did the best that she could. But what she had, she died at 38 years old. So, when she didn't answer, I've never asked her questions about life. That was the only answer I've ever asked her in my life. I just walked over, gave her a kiss on her forehead, on top of her head. A la miro rato, jefa. And I walked off. Back into that insanity world. Stolen car, strapped down, didn't care who, what, when, where. Barrio, vámonos. Vida loca. All gangster down, want to take my aggressions on anybody and anything that got in my way. For the questions weren't answered. And this is the life that I live. When I end up going back to the hood and all that, unfortunately, that same day, I got into a big old high-speed chase and they caught me. Finally, they captured this criminal. Finally, they got this individual that was running amok, that was rebellious against life. No questions answered, no nothing, no, hey, I'm going to help you, this and that. No, nada. The only help you're going to get, boy, is behind those walls. That's it. We're going to put you away. You're a threat to society. You have no explanation. You have no clue with you, what to do with you. We're going to put you away. And they did. Fought my case, and months later, and I was in prison. And when they took me into the jail cell, when they took me to the call me up for the program office, you guys know the story on Facebook. The only time that you get to go there is when somebody dies or you're dropping out. I ain't no freaking dropout, homie. I'm a rider. I started as a rider. I'm going to die as a rider. Those were my thoughts. Those were my theories. Those was my heart. See, the rebelliousness in the heart, it wasn't with anybody else. It was within myself. And I would never let no rules break me. If the system, my mom, and anybody couldn't break me, I'd be doggone if the homeboys broke me. Or the rules and regulations broke me. I rode all the way, homie. To this day, I have good standings in my neighborhood. And it is what it is. I'm blessed and I still live there. And I salute them and I respect them. I'm not there to disrespect nobody. But two things happen in that program office. Either you lock it up, homie, or somebody has passed away, dog. You're not there to go meet friends with the Judas, dog. And when they told me to sit down, have a seat, so we need to talk to you, because the captain wanted to make sure that your sanity, that your brain, that you're okay to receive the bad news. He said, have a seat, young man. Mr. Tabaris, have a seat. I said, no, I'm all right. I don't sit down in that chair. See, that pride, that ego, that machismo, that barrio, that rebellious thing that I've had, the day that I left that hospital, it was still with me. And I'll be darned if I let a system break me. It says, you don't want to sit down? I said, no, I'm okay. I'm straight. And I bought her close the door. He says, hey, you don't want to know that your mom passed away today? I said, yeah, I knew it. Oh, you knew it? Yeah, I had a feeling. And I just closed the door, walked out. They opened it up because you can't open the door. They opened it up for me and they let me out. I was numb. I still remember walking the track. Numb. The answers that I was looking for, I could not receive them. And it was a day late, dollar short. And I walked the track and I remember and I told myself, that's it. Go hard or go home, homie. Nobody's going to take me out of this yard. Either the gurney, take me dead, but I wasn't going to walk out of no yard like that. And I wrote. I make sure that I earn my tacos. I made sure that I earned my bones. I made sure that I earned all my steak cashews, homie. I made sure that anger and that bitterness, my body and my stomach, I made sure I was ready to die for it. Those schools on my head, I made sure I was racist. The Azteca shields and all that, the warriors that I have on my chest, I made sure I lived by the code, homie. Lived it all the way. And they still didn't answer no questions. See? In life, nobody has the right to give you an answer anyways. You have to figure these things out yourself. You have to understand that you're going to do the best part as a parent. You're going to do the best part as a brother. You're going to do the best part as a sister. You're going to do the best part as a mother, as a father, as a cousin. Because God gave you life. And God gave a name and a position for everything to happen according to his will. If it's your job as a dad, play the role as a dad. If it's your job as a mother, play the role as a mother. If you decide to back out and leave everybody hanging, then hey, it's okay. Go find yourself, but make sure that the dad takes over. Make sure the cousin takes over. But don't be surprised later on down the road that it's a domino effect. And that child is lost. That grandchild is lost. Because this world's hard. In reality, nobody has the right to give you an answer, homie. Till this day, I do not have the answers, homie. But you know what I've learned? And you know what I've studied through all that? Hey, the ball's on my court now. What am I going to do, homie? And am I going to become a drunk? Am I going to just go ahead and bounce? Heck no, homie. I want to play b-ball, fool. I'm going to walk all over you. I'm going to be a Kobe, homie. Not a Jordan, homie. I'm going to be a Kobe, dog. I have to. There's no other way. There's no other path. There's no other chances like that. I got to be the best father that I can. I take it serious. Because I know what could happen if I ever pull out of that. I know exactly what could happen. I'm a living proof, homie. Now imagine with all my wisdom and all my knowledge and all my schooling to throw that onto my kids. Man, they would be masters, dog. They run all over you, street-wise and school-wise, homie. That's what I've learned. The ball is on my court. What am I going to do? Do I let my kids just go ahead and walk all over me or walk all over their mom? No, we can't. And I won't let it happen. They have to know the meaning of respect. Because if they do not know the meaning of respect, they're going to go on like me. Like a rolling stone. Through the system, failing in marriages, failing in relationships, kids all over the place. 1 baby daddy, 2 baby daddy, 3 baby daddy, 4 baby daddy, living off of welfare, living off of EBT. The baby daddy not working. The baby mama is a drug addict. No pension, no 401k, no none of that. No results. Driving around with broken down car, no insurance, no tags. Drinking and driving. Killing up other family members that they got their things going on. Where do you stand at? Do you put your foot down? Are you a father? Are you a mother? You as a cousin, as a tia, are you doing your part? Or are you just letting them be? You know, a lot of times it's sad because my sister lives maybe about 15, 20 minutes away from me, but I don't go down there. The reason why I don't go down there because I will put my foot way up in some business. But I respect my brother-in-law. I respect my sister. I let them be. But trust me, things will change, and I don't want to argue. I don't want to fight with them. But I do love my niece and my nephews, my cousins, and everybody. But sometimes you just got to turn and let them be. Lead by example. But do the best that you can. Help out when you can. Know your position, Know when to step back. When the responsibility and the role model comes as the mom and dad, they got to step in. I make sure I tell my niece and my nephew, you know what happens as soon as I step in? Oh, it's over. I ain't playing. I'm kicking everybody out. We're going to take this. You're going to go to Holly. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And hard. No baby daddy here. I don't give an F. And, I would put a lot of things down. But then again, it's not my house. Those ain't my rules. But I do the best that I can as a tío. It's sad and unfortunate a lot of people don't have their life in order. The kids are rebellious. But are you doing your part? Are you stepping up to the plate? Or you let them walk all over you? Steal from you? Do you wrong? Gossip about you? Put you out on Facebook like that? Put you out on YouTube like that? Call up other people and talk about you. Put you down. Slander your name. Disrespect you. Spit at you. Take off in your car. Where you at, Mom? Where you at, Dad? Handle your business, homie. Damn, that was deep, huh?
I leave, bro.
Hey, but what you're saying is true. A lot of these kids, they just don't got the respect, Talk to your mom, your dad that way, put hands on them. I don't care how bad my mom was with me and that, but that was one thing. I never put hands up on her or disrespect her in any way because she was my mother no matter what.
That's old school stuff.
That's how I was brought up,
Was that old school stuff?
Oh, yeah. I didn't have a dad in the house all the time. He was out getting high, drunk, whatever, with other women. Mom was the mom and she was the dad, but she was never home either. She was always at work. She was gone.
Was that deep, Alfred?
Bro, I'm as I listen to what you're saying, bro. It's just it takes me it takes me into your life, bro. Yeah. And many people out there that are watching this are probably looking and saying like, bro, that's deep. But it's the truth. Yes. It's the reality what many of us, go through, especially, living here, in another country, right? Especially us that we're, second generation Mexicanos, right? We know that our family come from other nationalities, wherever you're from, Guatemala, Honduras, wherever. LA is a melting pot, right? You got Colombians, Venezuelans, you got everybody coming in here, right? And we all left our home, right, for the struggle, right? And then we get here to another struggle. You know what I mean? Like the funny thing about this whole thing as I'm listening to you and you're saying like, how it was so tough. Where was your dad? Where was it? They're coming from a struggle. You got to understand they're coming for a better life, a better situation. How dare of us, right, as kids, want to put so much pressure on parents. And by all means, well, you might think differ or you might think different about this whole thing. Or you might say, I never had it that way. I don't know what you're talking about. But the truth reality is that we all went through it. We were expecting our parents to be parents, in a time where they're here trying to figure life out. You know what I mean? They're here when they're trying to, both of them working, even one working because the other one's probably locked up or whatever, drinking or whatever it might be. You put whatever you think on your story here. But it's the truth. You know what I mean? That is the whole truth about us. We're, us, the Latino, the Mexican, the Latino people. When will be enough? When think about it. Anthony just spent 11 years in jail trying to get out of place, being controlled, and now, we come out here and still being controlled. You know what I mean? So I asked, I just ask you guys, to really, really consider, when is enough? When do you think enough is enough? And I know for some of you might think, well, I'm a grandparent. My kids are in jail or whatever, or my situation is completely different. You don't understand. I get it. But we all have a say.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we all have a foot, and we can put it. I mean, your mom put it. My mom put it, right? Grandparents are putting it right now. So there is a way. There is a way. It's just a matter of just being able to buckle down and take care of business. You know what I mean? Why do you think, why am I looking at this story as I'm listening to you talk? And then you have these sayings, raza to the top, your own business, you got wonderful family, everything's going well, right? We all have issues, I get it. But you made it. So here's a story of people, of victory, from someone that say, hey, listen, I was there. I was fighting 20, 23, whatever to life. But look at me now, not being controlled. I control my own finances. I control my own business. I have a say in my life and my family. You did it. You did it.
Yes.
So why not gravitate? For some of you are saying, hey, we love it. I love it, man. I love going through the messages right there. As I'm looking to you, I love seeing the great messages that everybody puts up there. Thank you, Anthony. You're inspiring. You inspire people. Great. So that inspiring, use it as a momentum to make changes in your own lives, to adapt, to say this guy has a wonderful story, and no, that doesn't belong to me. And here you are telling me that, we can do this. We can, this has been your message for a while now to the community, to the raza. Guys, I got out of it. Yeah, I'm still in the hood, but listen, I'm loving it. I'm enjoying life. I'm happy. I'm not enchained as I was 11 years ago or 10 years ago. I was not being told what to do. Now I have control of my own life. How inspiring. I hear the voices. I hear the messages. And sometimes you might look in the shadows. Some people are looking and saying that story right there doesn't belong to me. And they're looking at their situation and saying, that situation cannot be mine. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? He made it. Oh, but you don't understand. Dude, he was fighting a case. You know what I mean? Like he was for murder. Did you guys understand? He was going in for murder. But he fought it. And he got it. And now he's coming in here to the community talking, saying this, the messages and showing that we can do it, right? Grabbing arms with people. And sometimes, I feel bad for some folks. You know what I mean? I feel bad. But in the same token, I'm talking and saying, shoot for it. Buckle down. Do it. Grab it.
Yeah. It was hard.
Tough, I get it.
When it was, for the record, you guys, it wasn't murder. It was 4 attempted murders.
No, by all means.
Oh, you take pride in the 4th attempt murder? No, I don't. I don't take pride on it.
No.
I don't
What I'm
say
saying,
boastfully.
What I meant to say is, hey, you were fighting a case.
Yeah.
I don't know the case, and by all means, Facebook is going to call me out on it. Alfred, what are you talking about, bro? He wasn't. No. Apologies. Thank you for clarifying.
But it was
the case.
4 attempted murders, and it was 25 to life. And then the second case was my 3 strikes. It was 35 to life. The Habitual Criminal Act.
Oh man.
By damn. How? Listen. I said earlier this. If you're a cousin, be the cousin. Be the best freaking cousin there is. If you're an officer, be the best freaking officer that there is. If you're a judge, be the best judge that there is. On the last case, I would go to the gym, hungover, high at times, but I love the gym because I'm able to just dissolve some of the issues of what I was going through. There was a lot of people on parole when I was out. People were running the hood in and out, doing their things, and I was part of it. I'm not going to lie. I would go to the gym, strapped down, just to go relieve some stress. In the process of going to the gym, the American Eagle gym, which is now Dog Pound, I would go there, and it was an old-fashioned, old-school, garage-style kind of gym. As I would go out there and work out, I bumped into this negro, moreno. He was from Compton, homie. Okay? Straight negro, Compton, thin, in shape. But he had that fade, that rich fade. You could kind of tell the rich negros and the poor negros, okay? And I don't mean to say it in a disrespectful way. So if your brother, whatever, nothing against your people, homie. I'm Chicano. I'm proud of it. You're black. You're proud of it. That's firme. I have nothing to say. I'm not here to bash your people or anything like that, homie. But you could tell the difference between an educated moreno and a non-educated. A rebellious one and a good one. Just like you guys could tell with us. And I knew this individual was educated. He had a clean cut, always trimmed up and working out. And I would go with my tank top and my duffel bag and whatever, and and I would go shower in the gym, homie, just so I could relieve my tension and whatever. And I would leave my shoes outside, leave everything, because I didn't have nothing to sweat about. The negro, the moreno would tell me, "Hey, what's up, man? You on parole?" Like, what? Parole? And he was asking me these funky questions. I say, "Hey, homie, you're a Huda, you're a cop. What are you? You know what I mean? What are you, detective or something?" "No, I just want to know, you know what I mean? The safety of my well-being, and, I'm a district attorney for Southeast Division." I was like, oh, man.
Golly.
I get away from the water to come and work out to the gym, and there's Hudas there. There was Hudas there, and there was a district attorney. And I say, homie, I'm active, homie. I just want to work out, homes, and I would work out. And time would go by, right? And I will see him, "Hey, what's up? What's up, Anthony? What's up, man? What's up, homie?" And I would go take a shower, Alfred, and I would leave my stuff outside because I know he wasn't going to go through my stuff. And this fool, I call him a fool, will grab 40 bolas, like if it was a freaking wet 40 from the county jail, dog, and shove it in my shoe, dog. And I would come out of the shower and he was gone. And I would, what is this? And I would see him every few days later, like, "Hey, Holmes, what's up with that, homie? Why didn't you leave money in my shoe for?" "I don't know. I think you need it." I go, "I need money?" Which he didn't know that I needed just a piece of my mind, And I gave him back the 50. I go, "I don't want your freaking money, dog. I'm straight." And again, I was showering and he would put money again. I'm like, dog, and it was his persistency, dog. He was persistent. See, I had nothing to do with the district attorney. See, from the get-go, when I've explained to you that I was no snitch, I was no rata, I was no dropout, I meant it, dog, and I was still living that life. I want nothing to do with the negro, homie. That's your life, homie. You do what you want. You go put away bad people. This is me. So after that, he put $40 in my shoes again, homie. And I said, "That's it, homie." And unfortunately, I ended up getting busted. When I picked up my 3 strikes, they did me dirty. I ended up in Downey Courthouse. And I'm gaffled up and I have my head down. And they hit me with the Habitual Criminal Act. So right before I went to court, the public pretender, he said, Mr. Tabares, we're going to make sure that we go ahead and transfer you over to the Norwalk Superior Court. And the district attorneys don't want you here, and the judge doesn't want you here. And you're going to be facing the Habitual Criminal Act, 35 to life, sir, And I'm like, all right, man, So I went outside. I'm in court. I'm gaffled up. They take me in chains, and I get a tap in the shoulder. I look up, and it was that negro, dog. His name was Eric, homie. Eric Pardon from Compton. Right when I looked at him, Alfred, I went, Eric. He goes, wow, you're in a whole lot of trouble.
Golly.
Like, he goes, Alfred, he said, am I your friend? I'll never forget those words. Am I your friend? I looked at him like this, Alfred, because he was standing up, right? When I seen him, he was just trying to squat down. I'm like, and I look at the homeboys, because I had criminals to my left, district attorney and lawyers to my right. I said, yeah, I'm your friend, homie. He goes, good. Do you trust me, Anthony? Do you trust me? Like, yeah, I trust you. I'm going to give you something. You need to take it because Norwalk is not going to let you walk out. Do you trust me? Like, yeah. He goes, it's a conflict of interest. Somebody's going to take this case, but you better take what I give you. He gave me 5 years.
Wow.
A friend of mine, gave me 5 years in prison. Alfred, he gave me 5 years, though. Oh, what was the charges? Oh, assault. And for the record, it was domestic violence. Not like that, what you think. It was mayhem. Mayhem, oh my God, that shedding of the skin. Yeah, it was mayhem because I kicked the window. I didn't know my baby's mom was in the window. When I kicked the freaking window, I'm thinking she's in the left. She's there. The curtains are there. When I kicked it, cut her leg. And when she tried to get out, I pushed her back. I said, just stay there. So they tried to get me for kidnap for that, for holding her against her will. I said, oh, it's on now. The Hoodas are going to come. Oh, it's on and cracking now. So as soon as the Hoodas got there, I started throwing down with the Downey Hoodas because you know they were racist.
Oh, yeah.
So I started throwing blows with those fools. So they got me assault, mayhem, domestic, terrorizing, everything. They threw the book at me, dog. But it wasn't where I went in and I got into violence. No, I kicked the window and they had those little shutter curtain things. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking she's over there because she was talking smack from the kitchen window. So like this, look, Alfred. Yeah. Oh, you're going to call the Hoodas?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to call Downey Hoodas? The racist? I'll give you a reason to call. Oh. So I come here to this window and I kick the window. And that's when the whole mayhem happened. I was like, oh, this papaya, dog. But what, let me answer the questions to the females. But why were you there in the first place? To get my property out, to get the hell out of that cantona, homie. You don't have the right. Yeah, I know you're single. I know you defend the baby's mama. You listen to the Hallmark channel, and you're against Trump. I get your part, homie. I'm here for you, homie. I'm rooting for you too. That one day you get married también, homie. Puro pedo. But anyways, after that had happened, they gave me the 5 years. I took the 5 years, dog, and I went to the shoe. I went everywhere. I never rolled up, and when I got out, I changed my life. When I changed my life, Alfred, yeah. I make sure I went to Bible college. I make sure that I had to do everything that I had to do. I get out about 3 years later, homie. I finished my course. I finished my mission.
Nice.
I went to go look for this negro, homie. I made sure that this Moreno that put me away, that I was his friend, make sure he seen the outcome. So I went up to Torrance Court. I tracked this fool down. I went to Torrance Court, and I asked for him. They looked at me. They looked at it as a convict. They said he'll be out. He'll be back pretty soon. He went to lunch. If you want to wait for him right here, go ahead. He should be back any minute. 5-10 minutes go by. About 15 minutes later go by, and I could see him coming in through the doors of the glass doors. And I get up. I have my portfolio and have everything, and I'm representing myself right in front of him. As he's walking towards me, he looks at me and he's trying to remember who I was or who's this individual. When I said, "Hey, Eric, remember me?" And he stopped. They're about to turn white, homie. They're about to turn white, dog. And I reached into my pocket.
Oh, man.
And he really couldn't run. He couldn't move. And I pulled out my card. Right there, homie. And he stopped, froze, looked down, grabbed the card, and he broke down in tears, homie.
Aww.
He said, "I knew it." What that card was is an ordained and registered minister, homie. You know? He broke down and cried, and he gave me a big hug. And you know what he said, Alfred? "I knew it. I knew God was right. I rebelled and I didn't want to help you. I didn't want to do none of these things. But God kept on telling me, for I'm a deacon at church."
Wow.
And he kept on telling, he told me, I kept on fighting with God, saying, "No, I don't want to help him. He's a criminal. Let him go. I don't care. And I don't need to be his friend. I don't need nothing on me." After that, he gives me back the card and gives me a big hug, and he just smiled. I said, "Eric, I am your friend, homie." And I walked away. Never seen him ever since, homie.
Wow.
See, that friendship doesn't mean friends for life. Doesn't mean that, dog.
Mm-hmm.
It means you have to be a friend because God died for our sins, homie. That's the type of friend you have to be. At that place, at that time, at that moment. You know? That's how you gotta be. Doesn't necessarily you build up a friendship. No. And that's a perfect example of what I said. If you're gonna be a judge, be the best judge. If you're gonna be a district attorney, be the best district attorney that you're gonna be. If you're gonna be a deacon, be the best deacon that you could be, homie.
That's right.
You're going to be a Rockin Chicano, be the best Rockin Chicano that there is, homie. If you're going to be a Rose, be the best Rose that there is.
That's right. That's right.
But doesn't mean that I was his friend like that, dog. It just meant that he had to listen to what God had told him to do and to say and to pursue. Because in reality, his job was to put people away like me away for life. Mm-hmm. When the time came down to make that decision, am I your friend? In front of the ex-convicts, dog. In front of the convicts. Am I your friend? Yeah, you're my friend. See, because I didn't have no conviction of whether I was a snitch or none. That didn't even cross my path. That didn't even cross my mind. Because that was not in my vocabulary, homie. That was not in my mind. To make a deal and cut a deal so I could get out. Nah. If I wrote it, might as well write it all the way. See, ain't no time to be complaining. But when somebody tells you, am I your friend, homie? Mm-hmm. He was the best district attorney that he could be. He was the best deacon that he could be. But he was a good person. Still is. I don't know where he's at. He's somewhere out there. District attorney for somewhere. I don't go looking for him. I don't, there's no business there. The only business left there is for I pursue the same thing that he had to pursue. Mm-hmm. Be that friend for somebody else.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Be the best that you can be, homie. But I don't have the right to put people away like that or make deals like that. I'll help you with the program. Before you go to court, I'll take you to a program. And then programs work, homie. You know?
Yeah.
Is that crazy or what?
That's wild. That's wild.
Tony says, you didn't deny him. No, I didn't. No. He said, and I think what he said was, like I mentioned, do you trust me?
Mm-hmm.
See, because when you have a friend, you got to trust them.
That's right.
True.
You know? And that's what I got to understand. To become a friend, you got to trust them. And when he asked me that question, do you trust me? Yeah, I trust you. Okay. You're not going back to Norwalk Court. They're going to give you life. You know? I can't take this case because it's a conflict of interest. But the individual that's here, I'm training him. He's going to offer the deal. You cool? I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm okay. Pasa calabaza. Vámonos. I got 5 years. Vámonos. Let's go back to the joint, homie. The worst experience again, homie. The Corrections Departments of Rehabilitation. No, it doesn't rehabilitate you. It makes you a better criminal.
Yeah.
Teaches you how to make weapons out of nothing. MacGyver this, MacGyver that.
Mexican
You know,
MacGyvers.
get your tantarans, your boxers, tear them down, make a bow and arrow, make all those good things, all those goodies. Bow and arrow, what is he talking about?
Yeah. Oh, you don't worry about it.
You know? Yeah, you make all those things. You make weapons out of anything, you know? They teach you everything. How to make counterfeits. We were making counterfeits in prison, homie. Good Lord. But hey, be the best that you can be. Be a good parent. Be a good father, mother, brother, sister. You know? Be the best that you can be. Joe Castro's on here. What's up, Joe?
What's up, Joe?
Big Q to my friend Anthony Tavares. Speaking facts. What's up, fool? When you going to come up here, homie?
Come on in, bro.
Get bum rushed, homie. That's a blessing, you know? To everybody tuning in, thank you guys. Holy Riders, what's up, homie? You went through all this to impact this world, local. God has delivered you from his glory. Ooh, come on now.
That's right.
Holy Riders, that's right, brother. It's been hard, homie.
I know. It's not
It's
easy.
been hard, huh? It's everybody. Man, homies, to establish everything that we have, it's a trip last week. I had Brian and I had Jay here, you know?
Yeah. Wow, man. That was a wonderful testimony, bro.
And you know what I tripped out on, Alfred?
Yep.
That they might have a business,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And I wish I had their business. But you know what they wished?
Uh-huh.
That they had a podcast like this.
That's right.
There you go.
I seen that.
Yeah. No, I saw that, bro.
And
They're
I was like, oh, man. And I gave all credit to God, homie.
That's right.
Because I don't deserve these cameras. I don't deserve this platform. I don't deserve none of this, homie. But when I humble myself and I humiliate myself and I come out here, homie,
Yeah.
and I give these hurtful stories, homie, God always gets the credit because he's the one that speaks and not me.
That's right.
That story earlier and the points and the facts, it wasn't me. It was God speaking.
Yeah.
Going, man, on that.
And one thing for sure is that when it comes down to him, when it comes down to these cameras and all this whole thing, he already knows. Even when I sin, even when I trip, even when I'm about to fight somebody, homie, he knows that I'll still give him all the glory, homie.
That's right.
Everything I have is because of him. I love the fact that we get to sit here and chop it up and we have all these cameras. And it's not about comadrismo. It's not about talking about other men. It's not pointing and it's not doing this or he said, she said. Nah. Why would I waste my time and talent and film and my whole crew on nonsense and talking about another man?
That's right.
What kind of comadre is Desmadre. What kind of comadres madre is that? I can't bring pisto. I don't bring cigarettes in here. And, you know, sometimes my homegirl here in the riot, she cusses. She catches herself.
But I'm getting better on it.
She's getting
Getting
better
better.
at it.
That's right.
But we're in the car. That mother beep, beep, beep. Son of a beep, beep, beep. You know, like, you know, it's fine. She could do that. But see, when it comes down to this podcast, we have respect. And I
course.
love the fact that she knows that and she acknowledges that.
That's right.
And she doesn't bust out her flower and start smoking it here.
No.
She has respect. She has morals, homie. And she's a good doggone buddy, homie. Homegirl. Road dogs. Feed me gente, dog, you know? And I'm blessed. But why would we sit here and waste all this time when we could spit game, knowledge, and wisdom and get people on here, homie? Why would I waste that? See, that's the difference of how I want their business and I see how they wanted this crew. There's nothing bad. There's nothing wrong about that. But I seen how they were at awe when they seen all this. I went home. They were amazed, and I went home and I said, thank you, God. Thank you. Because their business, I do the same with them. And with this, it's like, it tells me that I got you, fool. It's like letting me know, hey, I got you, homie. It's okay. Just make me proud. Don't worry. I got a business for you. This is how you're going to do it.
That's right.
Keep on going out there. Throw the camera at yourself and hey, talk about your stories and tell them who got you out. Tell them everything you have is because I gave to you. Tell them how you represent me at times and at times you rebel, but yet you get on your knees and ask for forgiveness.
That's right.
You would have prayer at times. And when somebody wants to pray, you ain't want to make excuses. You take your hat, you take your shades off. Every time and any time. When it's time for me to put you to work, you cleanse your mind, your thought, your heart, and your spirit. You even fast, fat boy. I like to be fat, God. I do. I don't got to starve no more. You know, I don't like to starve. I mean, I still hit the weights, you know what I mean? But I still hit the vara. Today I was hitting the vara, Alfred, and I'm like, 1, 2, oh, my shoulder. But I fast, you know, I cleanse myself, you know, at times, you know, when it comes down to him. But I'm happy, you know, get to eat what I want. I could afford it. I could fork up some feria. How big were the, what was I eating this weekend, dog? Tell him, homie, what did I eat at Pomona?
I remember the ice cream. What was it? The churro ice cream?
Oh, I tore that thing up, homie.
Okay, you had.
But for lunch, what do we have for lunch?
Oh, the turkey legs.
Big old turkey legs dipping in the barbecue like this.
Uh.
Watch out, where's the camera? I'm like this. No, dipping that thing like
And then it was
carnivores.
what was it? The pineapple with the rice and
Pineapple, rice, and chicken.
teriyaki chicken.
Yeah,
The sandwiches.
yeah.
There was
And
a
we
lot on the plate.
she didn't even finish her chicken, barbecue chicken on the kebab chicken.
Oh, that was good. And I shared it because, you know, China
I like,
too.
Basa, homie. I tore up her kebab, homie. Like, dip that baby in some barbecue. I can afford it now.
It was good. It was really good.
I don't starve no more. I'm not like a child that, you know. But hey, when it comes down to it, you know what I mean? It's a blessing, you know. It's his. He knows I'll hit the knee. Like, yeah, God forgive me. Like I mentioned in my last dying days, when I die, homie, screw that bed, homie. I don't want that bed. I don't want that mat near me. I've always said this. If I ever catch life, I promise I would never sleep in a mat or a pillow for the rest of my life. I will sleep on the floor. I will sleep in the middle. Like a manda, like a sacrifice. To me, in my last dying days, I'm throwing that bed away. Get that bed away from me. I want to die on my knees, homie. And when I die, take my last breath, hey, let it be on my knees. Hey, thank you, God. I did the best that I could. May you forgive me and I could enter the kingdom of heaven. I'm rebellious. I trip. I lust. I cuss. I trip. I ain't perfect. But when it comes down to you, hey, todo para usted, Señor. Maybe that's the reason why I have this crew. Maybe that's the reason why I hooked up with this.
There he go.
This crazy person over here. She's my partner now, dog.
Sometimes.
Hey, and for the record, I offered it to Little Man. Little Man is going through some health issues, so keep him in prayer, you know.
Praying for you, little man.
He's always welcome, you know. There was never no conflict. Oh, what went? There's no conflict. There's no nothing. He's more than welcome to come back, you know. I offered it to him. He says he has to deal with the doctor health issues, so I got to respect that, you know.
That's right.
But she starts coming along, and let's handle business, homie.
That's right.
She's a good person, huh?
Thank you. But
you all
we had
right?
a good weekend. We had a good weekend. Hey, when we got to spend it with the family, your family, you know, the wife, the kids, everybody at the Pomona Fair.
It was feeding me, huh?
Yeah, it was. It was cool.
We got to, they paid for the parking. I mean, the parking was for us.
Yeah.
We got hooked up with parking, entrance, and everything. And we had to do the
parade.
We're like this. And here comes the Cholos, the gang affiliated, the TikToker influencer Rosie with the full of the tattoos. Yeah, that's her at the Swami's dancing from side to side. That is that individual. That's her.
That's her. Yep.
No, it was cool. It was cool.
And she was right there by the ramp. I was like,
The Raiders shirt, huh?
yeah. No.
No.
She had the Cowboys.
I was gonna say.
She had
I was
the
gonna
Cowboys.
Say.
She's all like,
All right. I was gonna say.
vote for
Just
me.
making
Go
sure.
on Facebook and vote for me for the best chola. Best chola. The best chola of, what is it? Santa Fe Springs.
Oh, yeah, no.
And speaking of Santa Fe Springs, there was one tazos this weekend.
That's what I heard.
Stole my way. Bam, bam, bam. You know?
Sheesh.
You stole my EBT card, cop. Bam. I seen you, eh?
Yeah,
Are they hardcore like that? Yeah, some of them are, you know. I can see the girls when we go by, I can see the highlights like this, like, like if they grabbed the onion, squeezed it on their face, and they're like, you know, speak, woman, say something, you know. And they just like, look, she thinks she's all that in a bag of chips.
But see, they just profile me. It's not bad. It's just get to know who I am.
Yeah.
Come over and say what's up, whatever. Just don't think that I'm mad dogging you or whatever. Said half the time I can't even see.
I gotta say, Cubo to everybody on Facebook. My phone's dying out, so I gotta turn it off. So I gotta recharge it. My bad, dispensa. I gotta let go of Facebook. Okay, pues al rato Facebook. Boom. See, I got Facebook on.
Yeah,
I got the cameras on, but I didn't charge the phone, homie. You know,
The main one.
Yeah, the main one, right?
right? The main one.
That's the main one.
But no, this YouTube is gonna go feed me. I hope you guys like these stories. I hope these it was perfect for the parent,
Well, yeah,
Oh, bro.
kids.
well,
No,
yeah,
Go ahead.
more for the kids, respect your parents, That's what it's about. They're trying to give you a better life than what they had in life. That's how I see it with mine. I didn't have nothing really coming up now. And as I have my kids, you know what? I wanted better. I didn't want them to be in gangs. I didn't want that. I wanted them to become something in life. And, it's upon the kid. You show them everything and that's on them. If they want to take that advice and not, they're going to go the other way. But then when they get in trouble, then that's when they're calling mom and dad. Help me. Well, it's too late. You got yourself in that mess. I tried telling you. But they don't listen. And just like the way they dress, these kids, okay? You know what? It's upon the parent to make sure of the way their kids dress. You know, if you don't want to dress gangster, that you don't dress in that way. But a lot of people, it's like, oh, I'm against this and that. Well, you know what? They're your kids. You pawn your own kids the way they dress and that. It's not the street that does it. It all starts at home.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, that's where you get. I mean, like you, Rockin Chicano, okay, your mom was gone and everything. Like me, I went to the streets.
Yeah.
I didn't have no guidance at home. You didn't have no guidance at home. So you know what? Went to the street. We found a family there, and that's how we took it. You know.
Yeah.
But these kids that have their mom, dads at home and that, you know, they don't listen. They just take off.
And it looks good from the outside of their family. And,
Yes.
you know, we might not know the real cause, but at least there's hope in that path.
Yes.
Like you mentioned, you know, they have their mom and dad and they have their things going on, but yet they want to rebel and live a lifestyle of the calles. I don't understand that.
They got to get to learn, you know, before they jump into something and regret what they got themselves into. They think it's so easy out there in the streets, you know, getting in gangs, getting on drugs. It's not. It's
How
hard.
many young people have we seen? We're in LA. LA is the capital of the hobos, homeless, and tweakers and everything.
Yes,
How many young people we don't see without a shirt, pushing a cart and all that?
I know.
All their energy spent on all that nonsense. If they really broke down the numbers, they would make more money at a minimum wage job than them pushing that car and try to look for cans or try to push this or just to go carry this trash from that trash and then carry the tent and hook this up. It would be better if they just end up getting a 9 to 5, hole in the wall, Holly, minimum wage. They would have more success than what they're doing now.
So true.
You know, so many lost persons out there and just giving up hope. And I see the people like today. We seen a guy laid out on the grass right there at Excelsior High School, enjoying the shade, straight hobo status, and without a care in the freaking world, dog.
Hey, but a
Don't-
lot of them get used to that
They
lifestyle.
get used to that lifestyle. They get it's easy for them, you know, no responsibilities, no accountability, no nothing. They ain't got to raise their kids. They ain't got to, you know, let the state raise them. Let my mom raise them. Nah, Charlie, homie, you got to stop messing around, being an adult, taking responsibility, you know. I heard a pastor say one time, there's no such thing as homelessness in Skid Row. Just full of rebellious individuals.
True.
Because we live in the best country of the world, America. They could provide you with the facility. You could file for Social Security. Homelessness, you could file for everything, you know?
True.
But you refuse to get the help. You want to live out there. You want to live the way that you want to live. Don't care for your community. Don't care what's going on. Don't know who's in power. Don't know where your mom is at. Don't know where your kids are at. You just getting high, trying to escape reality. Trying to numb that hurt and pain that you had in your life. Not trying to make a good example for the people that are trying to get out. Because you're trying to bury them at the same time. You might not know that, but it's the truth. Oh, what do you mean they're burying them at the same time? You're offering drugs to the people. You're getting high with them. What does your sin have to do with their sin, homie?
True.
Let them be, dog. You have your own demons that you got to worry about. Take care of yourself. Get out of that rut. You know?
Yeah, but there's a lot of them too. Like my husband, he had his own business, construction business. And a lot of the homeless, you know, you could tell more or less. He would give a business card. Or I would give his business cards and that. You know what? Yeah, I'll get you something to eat. You know what? Come to this address and that, you'll get a job. And a lot of them refused it. It's like, no, I'd rather take money. It's like, well, we'll give you something to eat, but we can start you, get your kids out of the streets and stuff. A lot of them didn't want it. They didn't want the help. They just want the money at the time.
Yeah. Here's dog.
Who's dog?
That's Snoopy.
Have you ever ate dog, Rosie?
No.
Yeah, you have.
Her and TJ. No,
Oh, she's never been to TJ.
I
I
never,
haven't been to tacos, bro.
no, I've never been there.
Oh, tacos Tijuana, brother. No, I'm kidding. No. There's some good tacos over there with you guys.
When I was in prison, we've seen this chinito. He goes, "Oh yeah, I eat dog." Yeah, we used to call him. You know who we used to call a homie from Violent Street? He goes, "You dog eating bastard." That was his name. Because he goes, "I'm not Chino." I think he was from Thailand.
Oh.
And he goes, "Hey, dog eating bastard." I go, "Hey, why you call him that, homie?" Because it's the truth. He tells us that he ate dog. Hey, don't you eat dog? And he went like this. He goes, "Oh yeah." He went like this. I'm gonna mimic. "Oh yeah, I eat dog many times. Chihuahua, small dog, single serving, big dog family, a whole meal for everybody." That's what he said, dog. I go, "How does it taste?" "Oh, that tastes very good."
Oh, no.
And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Just like chicken.
That's what he said, dog. And the homeboy from Violence used to call him dog eating bastard.
No.
His name was Blackie from Violent. He was crazy, dude, dog. He was real cool. I met a lot of people in there. They were real cool, dog. And a lot of them passed already. A lot of them are gone. And my compadre, I heard he's out there somewhere at a rehab, and I hope he's doing good. I met that fool through the halls and everything, and man, what a trip, man. I got to baptize this kid, and now his kid's old, and but you meet a lot of crazy people in there, but
Yeah.
a dog eating bastards, huh?
Why, have you eaten dog, Anthony?
No, I haven't. I mean, if it's there and it's their culture, I ain't gonna say, "Shale, homie, pasan la patita, fool."
No.
Pasan, homie, pasan la costilla. Put in a taco. Taco? Okay, your taco is the rice paper. Bring the rice paper. Oh no, that's Korean, right?
Korean, yeah.
That's Korean. Oh,
Yeah, that's
man.
Korean, yeah.
Damn, homie, I be knowing, dog. That food's good.
Yeah. Korean food, yeah.
Korean food.
That
man.
and,
Korean food.
and
is good.
another one, dog. Oh man, chicken malakasa. What's that? What is it called?
Is that curry chicken? No.
No, that's India food.
It's Indian food, no?
Oh, that's spicy.
Oh, that is spicy. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
spicy.
Chicken malakasa. Or,
No, that's really spicy.
I think that's what it's called. And oh man, they get the pita bread,
Oh, but
they
that's
get
good.
the rice, and then they get the goat. Oh man,
No goat.
they got goat, and it tastes like
man,
birria
tastes- Yeah, it
almost.
tastes good.
But then I leave, homie,
So
and about
tender,
20
yeah.
minutes later, like, oh my chest, I feel like I'm having a heart attack. What the heck?
Cholesterol.
No, you gotta get the mustard.
Oh,
Grab
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
mustard
yeah,
on the spoonie. Vámonos,
That's
homie.
right.
So the heartburn goes away.
heartburn,
But
that's
like,
right.
damn,
Yeah, that's
estos
right.
vatos de India, their food is good, but I wait, Theirs is just different, But
Super.
the rice paper is good from the Koreans, homie.
Really good. Really
You
good.
have Korean food?
Yeah. The chicken?
Yeah. What about food from India?
Yes.
Jamaican food?
No.
Food from Haiti?
No.
That's good. That's all good.
Try that.
What about the pupusas and all that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That place I took you to,
Yes.
was that banging?
Yes. That was good.
It's good. Pupusas are
Yes.
good. They already know me.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
do.
el Cholo Gordo. What's up, homie? Got about 4 of those, homie.
The typical.
2 sausages, homie.
They already know.
And give me a Diet Coke.
That's it. Yeah.
But they do. They know him.
Exactly.
They know me.
When he pulls up.
Yep.
Yeah,
Lo mismo,
right,
¿no,
Rose?
Holmes?
Yes.
Same one, right?
¿Qué onda, Cholo? What are you doing? Man, homie. Oh, and trip out. One day I had a snap at these fools, dog. Cuz, dog. Look, dog. I'm a good customer, homie. I'm a loyal customer, okay?
Yeah.
And sometimes when the wife needs whatever, and I go, when I'm in LA, I stop by and they give me cheap prices, dog. Good people. But you got to catch them like early or later on, because if it's between like 11 to 1,
No, papas.
all these
Lunch.
paisitas come in their trucks, dog, and they come 3, 4 deep, 5 deep, and dame esto, dame esto. And those people are the taco people.
That's right.
And you might be saying, what do you mean taco people?
Yeah.
Yeah. What happens is that these taco shops, these taco places are not mom and pop's places.
That's true.
They're monopolized to pay off whatever debt that they have, through the coyote. So all these vatos show up and it's not their business, but they're driving and they got all the food, the carne. And before they start cooking, they go get pupusas and all that. So all these foods, little Oaxaqueño little fools, get off the cart. They're all Oaxaqueños, They're all short, dark little fools.
Yeah.
And they look at you all funny, like, who's this fat cholo with the big old brocha? They look at me funny, you know what I mean? They could tell the way I dress and all that. And they just come up, hey, dame esto, hey, dame esto. They just automatically push you out.
Yeah.
I said, I'm just chopped liver right here, homie. No te preocupes, So hígado picado, no te preocupes. And they just look at me like, huh?
Yeah.
And
they
I'm
don't
like,
get it.
and I told homeboy, he goes, hey, you all right? The owner. Like, homie, all these Oaxaqueños in front of me, dog, what's up, homie? I need to roll too, homie. I got a life too. I got a business too, homie.
Yeah.
And he's all like, oh, I'm so sorry. Let me just take care. And like, damn, homie. But they're, one thing to get it clear, don't get mad at our people, because a lot of them don't have manners, dog. Yeah. And especially like people from way, way down south, they look at you funny. They already know you're different, and when you expect to be respectful and all that, they don't know. If they bump into you, they're not used to it. Like, hey, excuse me, homie,
Yeah.
they would just bump into you, and they were, a lot of their ways is not the ways of here, the way we were raised. And you have to forgive them,
Yeah.
Those are our people no matter what. In case some other race would act crazy with them, of course, it's in our nature to back them up, because they are our raza too. Just because they were born down there and we were born up here, skin color and the blood type is the same thing,
That's right.
But a lot of them are like that, and they'll be the type, like, you'll be around that area and they'll be like blowing their nose like that.
Like nothing.
Damn,
Yeah.
fool,
Yeah.
come on, dog.
Yeah,
There's
like right.
food
Yeah, bro.
here, homie.
Exactly.
Like, come on, you said it, homie. Or they'll be just crack a burp in front of everybody, like, hey, homie, come on, dog. There's a fiend right here, homie. A lot of times, So,
Yeah.
not saying that all of them are like that, but a lot of them are like that, And it's like, and they bumping and shoving and like, I don't care, and like, güey, cálmate, güey, But they're still our people, homes, you know what I mean? And try to educate them when you can, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, the way that we grew up is different, like their cat call and our cat call. We ain't got no cat call. We just go up to the hyena. Like, what's up, girl? What's your name? What you doing? To them, like, chiquitita.
Yeah.
Hey,
You're so right on that.
hey, chica, hey, ¿a dónde vas? I'm like, what the hell?
It's so true.
You know what I mean? Like, what? Stop doing that, fool, and go over there and go talk to your homie. Said, like my mom used to say, my grandma, no seas rancherito, güey.
Rancherito, yeah.
Rancherito, like, no quiero. ¿Cómo está?
No, patroncito.
No, patroncito. And then guys just had like this. Like,
Yeah. Yes.
oye, jefe.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. That's so true.
You don't be that. Just go over there and talk to the hyena. What's up, girl? Yeah. ¿Cómo te llamas? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like your shoes. They've been on my brain all that time, you know.
Yeah.
Some weak game up to whatever they. I never heard them speak
Right?
game at
I
them. I
haven't,
don't.
no. I wonder if anybody from Oaxaca's listening, bro. They can holler at us, bro, so they can tell us exactly the ways, bro. Because they're different ways. They're I mean, the way they talk to, the way they communicate, like I hear the same thing you have, right? Like, for example, we're just two different cultures. They're just different. They're built different. They have not only are they built different, but they have different different culture, and it's a different
dialect,
even
style,
yeah.
a different approach of living. Their to their eating ways different from us, and but that's still our people, But go there and talk to the Haina fool.
Yeah.
I never heard him speak game, like, oh, I love your shortness. It's just like mine. I like your huaraches. I love the bottom of the rubber of your huaraches. It says Mickey Thompson's just like mine. They'd be like, what the heck? Huaraches with rubber in the... Yeah, it's made out of rubber tires in the bottom.
True.
Oh, tú tienes la white one? Yo también, mira. Damn. But those are our people, homie,
That's right.
I get to say it, homie, because we still backed them up in the system. Whenever they got in trouble, we had to jump in, homie. We had to go back them up. And a lot of them didn't like doing it, but hey, I remember one of them. I remember clearly. He didn't want to get involved and get on me, my mom. I want my mom. Like, full grown man crying in there, dog. Like, man, shut up. You weren't crying when you were committing the crime. Get your butt. And I grabbed that fool and I threw him into the ride. Get in there, fool. Métase, güey. It was. I was cold, dog. But it's the truth, dog. When you got to back them up, you got to back them up. I'm not speaking political here, but those are our people. We got to stand up for them. I get it, but hey, it's all of our people. Let's roll, homie. Vámonos. That's the right. Sad thing that nobody won, but if it's your people, ven pa' acá. Métase, güey. Vámonos. And all the people in there, I was out there. You tenía un gran marquise and what, fool? And you won't go over there and stab him, fool? For reals, dog? You this big old cartel out there, you ain't gonna go over there and stab him, dog? Come on, you miss me with that, dog. Sí, allá yo con unas rucas bien banotas y que tenía 3 gran marqués y que yo tenía allá y que conocía a fulano y que yo tenía todas las ciudades. Well, fool, that's a Chester. Go handle it, fool. No, pues yo quiero salir a hacer mi tiempo. Like, the majority of them, dog, like, you for reals, fool? But there was some, dog. And I gotta give it credit to these fools, dog. Yeah. There are people. I'm gonna tell who they are. The ones that didn't give a mad F, I can't cuss, but a mad F was the freaking ñeros from DF. Those guys were crazy, dog. They're from the streets. They didn't care. Yep. The vatos from Cachanilla, Tijuana, Mexicali. Those fools don't care. They don't care, homie. They would ride. They're from the streets.
Yeah.
The ones that really like took it a little bit more serious. Nobody else would kind of like run with it, but they were down with the business. It would have to be the vatos from Michoacán. A lot of them were quiet and they're like, what we got to do, homes, Sinaloa was there. All these people were there, but the ones that didn't care, they were freaking hardcore rebellious, was the F, homie. Those fools were...
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah.
They don't care, dog. Yeah. I remember one time this 2 vatos got him up and he broke a thing from the wood and he started beating that crap out of him because he called him a joto.
Oh. Yes, I don't go.
And that dude was a big old fool from the F. And you know what he was saying?
Yeah.
So what if I'm a Joto? So what? And that's my life. And he was beating the crap out of this fool, dog. And the gunner was just about, bah, bah, down, bah. He was shooting it with the Mini 14, dog. And he was made sure that he made a statement. So what? That's my life. And he was beating the crap. I was like, God dang, homie. You know? But them fools were crazy, dog. But those are our people. We got to back them up no matter what. I don't speak political here, homie, you know, pero that vato was a chirujo, homie. It was a chirujo, dog. He made sure that he told that fool and beat
be
the
known.
crap out of him, homie. But them dudes were crazy, you know. But those are our people. We got to back them up. And no matter what, even in the calles, when they bash on them, when they're selling stuff, vending or whatever, selling the elotes and all that, be kind with them, homie. You know, let it be, you know. Somebody wants to take advantage, stand up, homie. Know your local raspado man and elote man, dog, and stand up for him, homie. I stand up for ours. There's new ones coming in. I don't know them. I knew 3 of them. Moreno, Primo, El Primo, I haven't seen him, and Alvaro. And Alvaro's still around. And I look out for them. You know, I gave him my number. He'll call me up. And it has happened where they call me up and I had to go down there and straighten it out with the homies or whoever's there, you know. And that was it, you know. But I look out for them. You know, I look out for the local vendors as much as I can. Those are our people.
That's right.
You got Raspado mans here, homie?
Oh, all the time, bro. Yeah.
They come through here?
They come through here, yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, they come every, I think, Thursdays and Tuesdays.
Not every day?
Not every day. No, they only come on close to the weekends, bro, because they know that, you know, people get paid. You know what I mean? So they show up, roughly I see them here like during Thursdays and Fridays. And then on Sunday evenings. So they come by here because we got apartments over here on this side.
There's apartments here?
Yeah, they're all right here across the street over here. And then across the street on this side too.
Well, we're surprised because his house is like almost across the street from Disneyland.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, they come by.
Yeah. A lot of gabachos live around here, huh, bro?
There's a lot of them. Right here in this area, I think it's for the most part, there's a mix. So you got a few here, but then you have people from other countries like Singapore, Vietnamese, Guatemala, Mexico, and then
Is there any animals missing?
not yet. I haven't heard any yet, bro.
Put a pad on them.
I haven't heard yet.
Hey, and the gabachos trip out here or no?
Nah.
Are they friendly?
Super friendly. Yeah, they walk out here. Hey, how you doing? If they see you outside, hey, how you doing?
Oh, but they already see you, huh?
Oh yeah.
I know every time we walk out of here, we're all G'd up, and they always looked.
Yeah, they're probably thinking like, what's going on?
What's going on in that house?
Yeah.
I knew he was a drug dealer.
I knew it.
I knew it.
Family man, huh?
They're heathens. Huh. That's how they paid off that house. We can't afford it, but that's how they paid it off. What a trip.
Yeah. No,
But there's a parking permits things here, right?
Yeah. So the way it works, I think it's based on the neighborhood. So the neighborhoods, if the street, everybody in that street, if they sign for it, they pretty much get the permit. So everybody has to start the process. So if all these neighbors right here, they all had to pay like $500 to the city to approve a permit, and then you pay like $50
A year?
a year.
So you had to pay $500 to make the permit thing pass through.
Between the neighbors. So everybody here, they split it, and then they said, let's pay for the fee, which is $500, and then after that you have to pay $50 if it gets approved, which is everybody pays that wants to change the rules to permit only, which it makes sense, right? Because there's a lot of people that come to Disneyland and they want to.
The hotels are right here.
The hotels.
There's a hotel right here, right?
Yeah, so they want to.
Then on down the street is the convention center.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So downtown Disney down the street.
They're like, we'd rather just park it here and take off.
Yeah, it's $15. I mean, save the $15 because I think it's $20 to park in.
It's $20. I think it's more, ain't it?
I think it's $20.
You guys walk it?
I walk it. It's right there. Go across the street.
I haven't been in Disneyland in years, homie.
It's fun, bro. It's just that
It's always packed, huh?
it's always packed. You know.
The last time I went there, guess who I bumped into?
Ooh, Mickey Mouse. Not yet. I'm joking. Who was it?
Charlie Wilson.
What?
Yeah, the Gap Band.
Oh, okay.
All the gabachos and everybody. Who is that? I'm like, that's Uncle Charlie from the Gap Band. The what band? Yeah, it's named after the streets that you guys burned down. Your relatives burned down the streets. They're like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Black Wall Street, homie. It's named after all those streets, you know? And they're like, huh?
No, they don't get it. They don't get it.
That was Uncle Scott. He was very racist.
Yeah, it was.
He was very racist.
Yep.
You know?
Uncle Clyde. He was super racist.
Huh.
Jeez.
He was master of the Cuba. Was a Grand Poobah.
Yeah. That's true.
There was a guy on Facebook. He's all like, about my son, Rose, in the show. He said, oh, look, that's Mama Beaner, Father Beaner, and Little Beaner, and part of the Beaner crew. And I pulled out one of his pictures, and he has a chain and everything. And I go, you're Grandpa Beaner. Your grandpa, what did I say? You're the Grand Poobah Beaner.
Yeah. Beaner. Yeah.
Grand Poobah Beaner.
Beaner.
And he laughed. Instead of saying nephew, he laughed about it.
Yeah, I think.
And he was on a change. It was a some kind of stupid picture that he had. I get my clown on, fool. I clown these fools, you know.
It's a must, man.
They're gonna talk my son, but you know.
Yeah.
They're like, he's a cholo wannabe. He's not. Like, well, bring your best cholo. Bring your best gangster, homie. At 137 pounds, 16, 17-year-old, your best gangster from your barrio. Bring him. You know, let's see how down he is. Well, my son's a boxer, so he'll take care of it, you know. But they're always gonna talk my son. Like with you, huh? They're always talking madness, huh?
But those are all those fake accounts.
Let it go. You're too old. What's wrong with you? You got to take care of your grandkids. And all this negative, huh?
Yeah, that's negative. You know what? I know who I am. Don't like it. Get off. Why get on my shit? I mean, why do you get on mine? You know what? Or asking for somebody. Yeah. If you ain't seen a person around me and that, why keep asking for that same person? You know what? Follow them on their page. Yeah. We'll go look for them.
And I love the favorite ones is like, you're too old. Oh. And I go to their profile. God damn. They look like the mummy on me. They opened up the pyramid, I think, Contraron way. Like, damn, fool, how dare you say that on me? You know? She looked like a straight sack of raisins just put together. Like, she's falling apart, you know? Like, gee, one eye's cocked eye, you know what I mean? She's all like, like, what the heck? You know? They call her Chin Chin because she has 3 chins. She's all shot out, like, sitting like a papa. Her arms are bigger than mine, and I freaking work out, homie. I got big shoulders. Her shoulders are straight bodybuilding. Big back, and they have the audacity to talk smack. Like, really? For reals, homie? And I go to their profile real quick when I can because I'm so busy all the time. But if I'm there, like, who is this person talking madness? You know, like, damn, how dare this Hannah say that, you know? Look like a sack of papas just right there, you know? They take the audacity to take pictures, the full picture, and their chanclas and their toes look like big old fists just looking at me. Calluses all over, you know. The roots are way back here, like never taking care of herself, like vida loca. Grandma power. No. Papona power, fool. Come on, homie. Get it together. You know? You gotta let go of those shorts, homie. They've been out of style. 1999 is calling back for their shorts, homie. Don't fit on it. Let it go, dog. Their chanclas have big old dip holes on it. You know, they're like, oh, damn, they're already going into the groove of your feet like this. Don't want to go buy new ones. And they're saying that you got to let it go. Crazy. That goes to all the people that be hating. Oh, I like what we did today in that video. Oh, I can't forget about my haters and the pickles for $4. Oh my way. Slap it on your face, fool. Here's something here. Let me baptize you with the water. No, toma. Y te lo tiro en la cara. Pa. I can't forget about my haters.
I really don't care about the haters. You know what? Much love to them. God loves
They
you.
make you famous, fool.
I know.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
You know the negative comments and all that? It throws out more of the real out. You know that, right?
Well, I know that.
Because they're interacting, they're talking, they're going, you know? So much love to the haters.
I just laugh. It's like, go with it. And it's like, whatever. I care less.
That's right. That concludes today's message. Be a good parent.
That's right.
True.
Don't be a scandalous papona. And if you're a joto with the stick,
Golly.
There you go.
There you go.
don't take it out on that food, dog. You know, si comes tacos de perro, no hay pedo, homie. Invita, güey. A good show today.
Yeah, that was good.
You know, it was hard, but we ended up with the good note.
True.
Go get some new chanclas, food. Much love and respects to everybody. Alfred, before we end, dog, you know what you got to do. Throw a scripture. You got one?
Yes, sir. Let's do it, man. Hey, I wanna bring you guys to the you know, we were talking about pretty much the discussion about Paul. You know what I mean? Like, Paul was somebody that nobody that people were afraid of. You know, this guy literally was there amidst when Stephen was getting pretty much beaten. You know, he was actually in the back. You know what I mean? This guy, you know, the Bible says that Saul was the one that was there, and he said it in his own words. He says, "I want to go take care of these Christians." You know what I mean? People were afraid of this guy, but guess what happened? You know, in the walk, as he was confronted from where he was going, he was confronted by no other than Jesus. And the question that Jesus made to him was, "Why do you persecute me?" You know what I mean? The word persecution, you know, comes out when somebody that's going after you. You know what I mean? And sometimes we do have people that are persecuting us. How many of us get persecuted for the way we look? Because we're too old, we're too young, we're too short, we're too fat. You know what I mean? Like, we get persecuted every day. But you know what? Paul was the one who was the persecutioner. He was actually in the Bible. It talks about that this guy, people were afraid to talk to him. You know what I mean? In fact, when he was blinded by Jesus and said, "Hey, you must go to Ananias' house," and when you do go to Ananias' house, you will be, you know, you will see after he talked to you and tells you things that you're gonna hear. And you know, Ananias, the first thing he said is like, "Not this guy, Lord, not this guy," you know, because this guy, he has a past. You know, his past is he's a criminal. You know, and the reason why he was a criminal, known as a criminal, was because he persecuted people. You know what I mean? He persecuted people, killed people. But in a sense, the question to you is, you know, let's let the light of Jesus change us. You know, when we're walking in a path, you know, that sometimes we don't know where it's leading us. You know, all we got to do is trust, you know, that the guy that's confronting us, which is God, in some point, in some way in your life, you will encounter it. Trust the process. Understand that God wants better for you. You know, and sometimes you might look that it's tough because there's a conflict, you know, like, you know, Anthony earlier, the guy said there's a conflict between me trying to, you know, save you or give you, you know, grace, right? You trust me, right? The friendship, trust, you know, when Jesus confronts you, just trust that he knows better and he has better. And so for some of you that are out there and being persecuted, just give it all on God's hands, man. Give it to him. You know, let them have it.
Amen.
Let them do what the will of it. Because at the end of the day, listen, they're not persecuting you. You know, they're persecuting a persona. At the end of the day, you know who you are. I love what Rose says this all the time. She says, "I know who I am. You know, there's no identity crisis between me. I know who I am." And so for some of you out there that know that you're being persecuted, just remember who you are. You're a child of God who loves you, who cares about you, and live that way. You know what I mean? And when it comes your way, you know, and you think he's persecuting you, he's not persecuting you. He's persecuting the stuff that you need to change. So let him change. Let him do his will. So whoever needed to hear that, man, God bless you. And listen,
That's
God
right.
knows what's going on.
Amen.
All right?
That's right, homie. Well, Pa, you're about to start going. That's right, homie.
Yeah.
And it goes
man.
to this podcast, homie.
It's true.
We're not here to talk about other men like that, dog. And the YouTube yada, homie, right there, homie. Yes, they know. And this vato, he told him, and he went to his pad, homie, and he told him, and she told him, and in the back, they were over here. And, you know, no, we don't do that crap. Somos hombres.
That's right.
Like my jefita, rest in peace. Ya eres hombrecito, cabrón. Ya eres hombrecito.
That's right.
All right, pues.
Thank you,
Much
everyone.
love and respects, homie. We'll see you next. Are you going to be here next week or no?
No, and we're gonna be here on the 10th,
On the 10th.
because we gotta go take a little vacation. Come on, it's summer. Some of you, you gotta take the kids out. You know what I mean? You gotta get the kids to camping. You gotta take them out. It's summer for some of our kids. So
I will be live on the phone.
You'll be live on the phone.
We'll
but
be
I'll
doing
see you.
something,
Yep.
huh, bros?
Yeah, but we'll
Because
see
we
you
can't
here.
afford to go to vacation like some people. He lives by Disney,
Golly.
and he don't invite us.
Don't
We bring our-
persecute me.
we
Don't
will-
persecute me.
We'll bring our EBT card, but still we ain't welcome. Hey, it's Scandalous. Before we hang up, you know, my homeboy down the street, his son is having a baby, right? And I clowned this fool in yesterday or today. No, I think it was yesterday. Everybody was outside. And I pulled up next to him, and he's about 17, right? 18 now. Pretty cool, dog. Cool dude. Once I pull up next to him, in front of the pad. Hey, the word on the block is you apply for EBT now, fool. And everybody started laughing. Ooh, you know. EBT, God. All right, boys. Much
Thank you,
love,
everyone.
respects to everybody. See you next week.
Bye.
Thank you.